All right, good morning. This is Miss Ashley again. Here to walk through day 6 of the NTI Independent Packet. Hopefully, this is our last day of NTI for a while. But here we go. So we will begin with the first page, which is our math page, and we're going to be sorting by size, so big, medium, and small. A lot of our stars, surprisingly, have a lot of trouble with this. It seems like big and small is really simple to understand, but that medium trips a lot of them up. So this is definitely a good skill to work on. All right, so we will start with our name, of course, and then we're going to need our scissors to cut out the pictures at the bottom. Okay. All right, so I'm going to kind of lay my pictures out here so I can really look at them and compare the sizes. All right, and since the first column is big, I am definitely going to start with the ones that I know that I can see are the biggest pictures. So right off the bat, I can tell that the picture of the cereal is big. I can also tell that the picture of the game, the board game, is big. I'm sure you guys can see everything. Okay. I can also tell that the picture of the ball, the exercise ball, is big. It's bigger than all the other ones. All right, so right away, I know those are our big pictures. All right, and honestly, I think the bubble picture looks like it's big because this picture is bigger than all the other ones. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the big category as well. All right, so then I'm going to look over at my pictures and I'm going to look at which pictures look small. I'm going to go ahead and jump to the small column. So I can tell that the smallest picture is this one, the bag of chips. And then when I look at the 3 that we have left, the iPad, the goldfish, and I believe that's like a friendship picture. Looking at those 3 pictures, I see that this one looks smaller than these 2. So this is the other one that I'm going to place in the small column. All right, so that leaves our iPad and our goldfish, and both of those pictures are in between big and small. So we're going to put those in the medium category. Great to start talking about these kind of things, because when you think about, like, you go to say McDonald's and you have to decide if you're going to order a small, a medium, or a large drink, or a small, medium, or large fry. So, it's good to start now with learning these basic skills that may seem really basic, but a lot of these skills translate really nicely to things that we see in the real world. So that's our big, medium, small sort. That's what our finished product should look like. I'm going to try to keep that together so I can take a photo of it when I'm done. All right, next is our reading page, and we have a ABC order page. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and cut the words out on the side. This is another important skill that seems like it should be simple, but it's actually pretty, this is actually a pretty complex skill, especially for some of our kiddos that still kind of struggle with letters, and it even, think about numbers, having to put numbers in order. So can actually be a very difficult concept for some of our friends. So it's good to practice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay these out. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab another piece of paper, because whenever we do ABC order at school, we always have like an alphabet chart to reference. So I'm going to go ahead and make us a little alphabet chart. All right. Actually, I'm going to put my name on it because I forgot to do that. Okay, so what I do is I always make us an alphabet chart. Doesn't have to be in any particular size or anything, just as long as we can write out the letters and go through each one as we're putting the words in order. Okay, so that's really all we need. You just need an alphabet chart. And actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take like a crayon. You can take a marker, highlighter, crayon, whatever. What I always find helpful is we go through and highlight or color in the first letter of each word. And I think all these words have they start with different letters. Sometimes you run into words that have the same first letter, so then you have to look at the next letter and so on. But this one's pretty simple. Okay, so what we do is we're going to start with letter A, and we're going to look through each word and put them in alphabetical order, ABC order. So we start with A. Don't have any letter or any words that start with A, so I'm going to cross out A. B. Oh, there we go. We have B for bubbles. So bubbles is going to be our first word. There's no other words that start with B, so I'm going to go ahead and cross out B. Next, we're going to go to C, and I see the word chips. It starts with C, so that's going to be our next word. No other words that start with C, so we're going to move on. D, no words that start with D. E, no words that start with E. F, all right, we have fist bump, and we're going to look at the first word, and it starts with F, fist bump. So that is going to be our next word in that ABC order list. Whoops. All right, it's not cooperating. There we go. All right, no other letters or no other words that start with F. Move on to G. We have G for games. So that will be next. All right, so we only have 2 left, so let's keep going in our alphabet list and see what we get to first. So we have no H. I. Yes, we have I for iPad. All right, and then of course we see no J, no K. Last one is L for Legos. All right, pretty simple. We knocked that out in the first half of the alphabet. So, all right, so there is what our list should look like in ABC order: bubbles, chips, fist bump, games, iPad, Legos. All right, so that is what our finished product should look like. And we're going to move on to our last page, which is the writing page. All right, very similar to the other writing pages that we've done this week. We'll keep on rolling. Zoom in just a little bit. Okay. All right, so we'll start with our name, of course. All right, so we're going to be using our sentence frames to create each sentence. And it says, what do you see? So every sentence gives us a sentence stem. I see, I see, I see a, I see a. And then we have our word bank. So we have Play-Doh, slide, Legos, and puzzle. All right, so we'll go up to the top. Start with our sentence stem. I see. And then the picture, it clearly says Play-Doh. So let's go down here and find Play-Doh. Right, I see Play-Doh. And just like we did yesterday, I'm going to challenge you to write each sentence twice so we can practice our handwriting, practice our spacing. All right, I see Play-Doh. All right, start with our next sentence stem. I see Legos in the picture. So let me go down here and find Legos and write Legos. Pick a period, and then I'm going to go ahead and write that sentence one more time. I see Legos. Okay. Go to our sentence stem. I see a puzzle. I'm going to write it one more time. I see a puzzle. All right, the last one, start with our stem. I see in the picture, I see a slide, and that is our last word, slide. And I'm going to write it one more time. I see a slide. All right, and for fun and to make it look nice, I'm going to color the pictures. Color our Play-Doh. I foresee a lot of Play-Doh when we come back to school probably next week because it's still going to be cold outside. So I don't foresee us getting to go outside too much next week. All right, then I'm going to color the Legos. Color the puzzle. And I'm going to color the slide. All right, so that is what our finished product should look like with our sentences. All right, and that is the last page of the independent packet for day 6. Like I said, hopefully this will be our last day of NTI for a while. And when we return to school, make sure your star brings their completed work to turn in so that we can give them their attendance for the NTI days. All right.